So BioBlitz is a 24-hour snapshot survey run by the community of a patch of bush, in this case in the wheat belt. It's a method to involve the community in understanding and appreciating the stuff that's in their backyard reserves. So, for example, in New York it would be a local park, but in the wheat belt it is the local patch of bush or local government reserve, for example. The whole idea behind the BioBlitz is to go and give people a real understanding and appreciation of the diversity of life that's in a patch of bush. It's almost like a shock and awe kind of scenario where you bring people to the reserve, in this case Korrelocking, and you let them discover how many plants and animals and fungi and critters there are in the bush. Often the bush is just perceived as a place for rabbits, foxes and weeds. And when you take the community out and you show them that diverse, amazing structure, just the variety of life that's in the bush, you can see them really starting to understand why people or organisations like WeBuilt NRM are working so hard to protect those little bits of bush, again, the jewels in the crown.
The best was probably we came to a rocky outcrop and I looked under some rocks and there was these little millipede things that I like those. We found lots of the scorpion holes, which were cool. Yep, I like those. Scorpion holes were like a smiley face in a mound or something. So we dug a hole in the way it was facing and then put a cup in there and filled it in, so at night they come out backwards to clean their little hole out and they might fall into the cup. So it's a little trap.
Key aspects of the BioBlitz is having team leaders to lead the community around and help them understand what animals and plants are there. People who have expertise in plants or botany, with birds, invertebrates, bats, for example, fungi. In the past we've had reptile people come out. So without the leaders, we wouldn't be able to then offer the general public a specific and a tailored kind of walk through the bush. In many ways it's a guided walk. Not only does that give them a bit of exposure to why we're recording things, how to record species properly, where you would write them, what kind of information WeBuilt NRM is gathering. It also gives them a chance to learn new skills like how to use a GPS. We've had people looking in tree hollows this year, so climbing a ladder to look into a tree hollow to see what's there. A lot of people wouldn't now normally do that. Things like the endoscope that Hayden brought along, that's really interesting because it allows you to explore areas that you wouldn't normally get a chance to look in. So part of the excitement is giving people a chance to be with someone who can help teach them stuff, but also give them some exposure to a new talent or a new device that they can then utilise.
I came because I could offer my little bit of knowledge to share with people. So the idea, I think, is to share with everybody and anybody, whether they're scientists or whether they're just community members, and to encourage everybody to get together and pool the knowledge and share it, and in a short snapshot see what's around in these BioBlitzes. So you've got a lot of manpower working together towards a common cause.
I've learned a lot from Joe just today. I didn't know about the ring barking of the trees from the galahs. I mean, just for the monitor lizards, that was just amazing to me.
Essentially, we found a lot of species that we were likely to find, but we probably found 20 or so species which were new or interesting. The invertebrates themselves, the critters, the little spiders, the scorpions, the pseudoscorpions, centipedes, beetles, that kind of thing, several of them will be of conservation interest. There were 2 trapdoor spiders which were collected which were of interest. Currently they're getting identified at the WA Museum, but I would suggest that at the very least there'll be new records for the area. We know there's lots of unusual spiders in the wheat belt, and it's just a matter of looking for them. So if there was someone in the community who was interested in doing a community survey, then chances are they would find something. There were several range extensions in terms of the flora. So plants that are known to grow in the area but weren't known from that particular site, weren't known from korrelocking. So as well as the general interest and excitement you get from the BioBlitz, we're also expanding our knowledge of the region and getting more detailed records. We had a bird that had never been seen in that area before, despite the community doing some surveys over the last 10 years. So even after looking for 10 years in a reserve, you can still find something new. So, protecting those jewels, there's a reason that they're valuable, not just for today, but also for tomorrow. But the other interesting mammal that we think we saw was a southern brown bandicoot. One of our leaders saw it out of the corner of his eye, and the description he gave was pretty close. He's pretty confident that it was a southern brown bandicoot. Again, that's a great example of an opportunity for the community to follow up with, Wheatbelt could provide some support for a project to see if that was actually a sighting or not. The major outputs from the Korrelocking BioBlitz is the production of a report which will include a summary of the plants, animals and fungi that we found, but the key in that document is probably the recommendations. Our role at Wheatbelt NRM is to support the community, getting involved in conservation activities. We're hoping that by identifying the key risks and threats to biodiversity at korrelocking, we can provide a report to the community. From that report, they might be interested in selecting priority activities, then be well served to contact Wheatbelt NRM to see how we can support them.
Scientists are investigating reports a new species of scorpion has been discovered in the central wheat belt. The small brown scorpion was located by an ecologist at Korrelocking Townsite Reserve east of Wildcatcham during a community-based biodiversity survey. The 24-hour search hosted by Wheatbelt NRM managed to identify an additional 80 species previously not found in the area. Wheatbelt NRM Regional Landcare Facilitator Mick Davis says the scorpion, along with spiders, centipedes and slaters, will be sent to the WA Museum for formal identification.